Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dave Cooper. I hope all is well with everybody. Let me know if my sound is coming through okay and I'm not getting any feedback. I'm using two separate devices here, which is pretty cool. I'm a little bit mobile, as you can see. I'm sitting in a clubhouse at the moment. But if you could give me just in the comments, say, hey, listen, it's working. Your mic's working. I'm laved up. There's a little bit of wind today. So just trying to keep it simple, keep it real, and enjoy my morning coffee at the same time. Hopefully that's not shaking. I think the table's shaking from the wind a little bit, but we had an amazing week this week. And when I say we had an amazing week, um, the guests that we had on the show, the conversations we had on the show. Hey, thanks, Joel, man. Appreciate it, dude. Definitely appreciate it. Um, this upcoming week's going to be even better. We got a little glitch though on Monday, but we'll get into that as well. But we had an amazing week this week, and I'm really looking forward to continuing on these conversations. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but we are on our full year next year or next week. Next week is 1 year where we went 6 days straight, nonstop for a full year. Can you believe a year's already gone by? We didn't miss a single day. May have been late, may have had some hiccups, but 6 days committed to helping grow the conversation, change the industry. That's a lot of shows. That's a lot of interviews. And it's been so much fun. We're going to continue with the interviews, but we're going to make some changes too. 6 days a week isn't sustainable. It probably is sustainable to some extent if I had a whole team of people prepping and all I had to do was hop on, but Jennifer and I, we have so much going on with, the research we're doing and all the people we're talking to and interviewing and, folks like Joel out there who are making a big difference in the world with what they're doing and trying to advance things forward, and Greg Ugalde and all of that. So it's almost sad that it's been a year, it's been tough. There's some days where you're like, oh my gosh, how we can't get a signal, we can't get out. But nonetheless, it has been a year. But let's talk about what we had, what we accomplished this past week. And what we have accomplished this past week was nothing short of amazing. We started a conversation with some industry experts all the way to the top of the National Associations of Home Builders. Hey, Greg's with us. Hey, Greg. So I might as well quick shout out. Sounds great. Picture looks fine too. Awesome. That's awesome. I'm doing a multiple setup. Cool. So I love it when Greg joins. Greg was one of our guests on Monday, and what was so exciting about Monday is we brought people from different parts of our industry together to have a conversation on offsite, and really the future of offsite and where it's heading. So on the 22nd, if you missed it, you can catch it on our YouTube channel. So please go there and subscribe. Oh, and as always, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, where Mr. Greg Ugalde is coming from. It looks like I'm getting some spam from Twitch as well, asking me if I want to be famous or not. Want to be famous? I can buy me some followers. You gotta love the young people, man. They're advanced when it comes to getting their word out there. All right. But we did. We had this live roundtable event, and this is what it was all about. We had Brittanie Campbell-Turner on the on our broadcast. You want to talk about somebody who is young, smart, is really making a name for herself in our industry, very innovative, and just the conversations and the words that she uses are I don't know. It was magnificent. It was the perfect balance for our show. And at some points, I kind of think a reality check. It's great, when we all talk amongst ourselves, but bringing Brittanie into our conversation, who's normally not part of our conversation, made a huge difference for our show. And I'm very grateful for her, and I'm really grateful for her opinions. So super excited about that. If you don't know who Brittanie Campbell-Turner is, check her out. She has her own podcast, and she's doing some stuff on YouTube as well. And of course, we had Gerry McCaughey on Monday as well, CEO and chairman of Integra, part of our conversation on Monday. And we're going to get into what we talked about Monday a little bit here this morning, because we're going to continue this conversation. We had a lot of people show up. the statistics for this one show were amazing. The amount of people that are rewatching it, reaching out on where they can find it has been amazing. And I think we're really on to where we're going with some of this stuff. So, Gerry, thank you for being on the show. And of course, you've got the Greg Ugalde, who's coming to us from Twitch this morning, who is the immediate past chair of the NAHB. I always say the NAHB, it's of NAHB. And this is really where this gets exciting because, and I know, Greg, you're watching, and having Greg on the show, having Gerry on the show, having Brittanie on the show, and there's one other, and I'm going to get to him in a minute as well, just shows the commitment to our industry to really take this to the next level. So outstanding. I love it. And the Mickleburgh. I love it. Mickleburgh sounds like a famous baseball player, right? Henry Mickleburgh. And we had Henry on the show as well. Henry, the self-proclaimed guru of volumetric. Yeah, you're not going to live it down, Henry. I love saying it because one, you're a good-hearted person, good-natured, and as they say in Boston, wicked smart. So having you on the show as well for the volumetric side of this and just offsite in general. So what did we cover in this show? We covered how do we define the cost of offsite construction? How do we define the cost of offsite construction? I'm not going to get into weeds of all this. If you want to check it out, you got to go to the YouTube channel and check it out. It was a long show, almost an hour and 45 minutes. So long that even the guests on the show were like, Dave, we got to go. We got things to do. I was having so much fun. I didn't want anybody to go. I'd still be on that show if they had more time and my batteries wouldn't die. How do we define the cost of offsite construction? Now, we kind of did a gloss over on all these topics that we're going to talk about right now. And when I say gloss over, a very high level conversation. The next show's coming up. We're going to dive into each one of these, and we're going to start paving the road. So you out there, builder, developer, investor, banker, whatever you are, that wants to understand the value of offsite construction, whether it's panelized, volumetric, concrete, mass timber, whatever your method of offsite construction is, we're going to start showing you how you quantify, how you come up with the real numbers on this stuff, who's doing it, how those numbers are looked at, and start getting you to think a little bit differently than your traditional way of thinking when it comes to construction. It's not the same way. You have to look at the equation a little bit different to get to the answer you're looking for. So with that said, that was the question number one. Number two, how do we define the value of offsite construction, right? How do you define the value? Again, tune into our YouTube channel, check it out, because the value and the cost are two different things out of this, right? And when you're looking at the cost and you're looking at the value, you have to really be able to quantify both of them equally. So, I mean, this show was just full of information. That's why we went so long. Number three, perceived cost versus the actual cost. What was the perceived cost versus actual cost? And how do you look at it? I get it. If I'm a builder or a developer or a banker, and I'm used to traditionally saying, all right, well, I need 5,000 studs at this, and I need this, and that's how you quantify your perceived cost versus actual cost. Offsite in the beginning will lose out every time, but there isn't a site builder out there that does not have cost overruns and change orders and the longevity of warranty and all these different things. We're really going to dive into this in the next roundtable coming up. We're putting it together now, and we're going to get it out there, and we are going to build this roadmap. Fourth question was, what is the most significant problem U.S. builders face? Greg Ugalde did an amazing job talking about this and really bringing up, true dilemmas of what are they facing? What is going on? So this is all, I can't say it enough. These are all real questions. And just like I say, we need to go to the youth to bring them into our industry. Well, we also need to go to the builders, to the developers, and we got to show them. Everybody's busy. Nobody's stopping to make a change right now. Nobody's stopping to make a change right now. There are some people switching over and incorporating offsite into their process. But the reality of it is we need to keep showing people the value. And once we get enough people doing that and we're collectively pulling in the same direction and we're collaborating together, that's when the industry is going to shift. And I think we're going to see some big turns towards what we're doing. It will catch on. And of course, yeah, I kind of jumped the gun on this conversation just now, but what is preventing further adoption of offsite construction? These are all things we talked about and answered it. And can we bring the industry together? And then yes, we can. We can. That's what we're doing. Myself, Jennifer, and others out there are working endlessly, tirelessly, talking to people all over the place to bring our industry together and really do some amazing, amazing collaborations. And when I say that, we got mass timber working with modular. We got so much happening. We got a lot of production builders using offsite methods now. I'm not going to go into any of that, but we're going to dive into that on some of these next shows. Who's doing it? How they doing it? Um, but here, this channel, this channel, next year's a year. Like I said, 6 days a week for a year, we have been doing nothing but discussing our industry. And it doesn't just have to be offsite. I focused a lot on offsite. Let's just be better. Let's not be in last place when it comes to an industry. Who wants to be in last place? We're builders and developers and marketers and I mean finance people. Every single job we have in our industry, virtual reality, augmented reality, BIM, right? Matterport. Think of all the cool things we have. How is it that we're last in the industry? We have the one thing everybody needs in the world. Everybody. A house, a place to lay down, somewhere to put your head. Guess what? Everybody doesn't need a car. But man, they're killing us on technology. But everybody needs a house. Everybody. Somebody everywhere around the world, they need shelter, even if it's a tent. Jupe, right? Look what Jupe's doing. You haven't checked out Jupe, check out what he's doing. Those are some super fancy tents. Love it, love it. Okay, moving on. Let's say hello to a few people here. I see it popping up in the. Look at this. Great, guys. Love it. Damien says the industry really needs to thank you for everything you do and everyone you bring to your podcast. Damien, thank you so much. I don't need thanks, honestly. The thanks is that I get people like yourself and others that are tuning in this morning to join what we're talking about here, be part of the conversation. We get people like Greg Ugalde, Gerry McCaughey, and all the other fabulous guests day in, day out on our show. I mean, that to me is thanks. And when we see the industry actually thrive as number one, that's the thanks, man, right? I love it, but I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate you saying that. Sometimes you do feel like you're out here on an island by yourself. There's some shows you do, and it seems like nobody tunes in. Then there's other shows, a million people tune in. Then you go, why? But people are busy. They come and go. We're doing our broadcast, but the rest of you are out there getting the work done. We're just talking about it. You out there are getting the work done, and that's what's really making it happen. So thank you, Damien, for tuning in, and thank you for those kind words. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Pedro, Dave and Jennifer, you're transforming the industry with its excellent guests. Thanks. Pedro, man, that is so cool, dude. What I love about Pedro is coming to us from South America, right? I mean, how cool is that? We are global. We have people from Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, France, England, Germany, all over, China, Japan, everywhere. It's really become a global conversation, but the world's a global place. So I think overall, I mean, how cool is that? So Pedro, man, I really do appreciate you tuning in. What time is it where you're at anyhow? I guess you're in the same time zone, maybe Central. I think you're Central where you're at. Well, either way. And Pedro, hey, listen, share what you do, man. Let everybody know who you are and start some conversation. I know there's some great product. I would love to put on some people from Brazil. Let's see what they're doing where you're from, down below. Let's see what you guys are up to, and I would love to learn more about the construction techniques down there. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Jen put in the conversation, always behind the scenes. Here's how you catch the live shows. Monday's show was a huge show. We're going to get into the other shows. And this week's a big show, too. We got some big stuff happen. We had a cancellation on Monday, though. Not a cancellation, a reschedule. So we are squirming for Monday. And I mean, squirming, we like to have guests. Sometimes I say it's like herding cats, right? People. And, but, things come up. So if anybody has any ideas on who is doing something amazing and doing something great that has availability at 1 p.m. this Monday, we are putting the feelers out for a guest Monday because we did have a fabulous guest on, and I'll get to that later in the show. But unfortunately, something personal came up, and she had to change that. It happens, so we're gonna fill it in. But Wednesday's a big show too. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh man, what is happening, Tiffany Mccall? I'm glad you're joining us this morning, Tiffany. I feel like I don't get to see you enough. You know, we used to see each other at meetings and at shows and traveling. So hopefully we get together soon. But Tiffany's doing great stuff. You know, can you so get this? Tiffany Mccall. I'm gonna tout you a little bit, Tiffany. Tiffany Mccall was the last chair of the Building Systems Council. She has put in so much of her own personal time that she timed out. She put in so much personal time. I mean, there's limits on how much time you can volunteer. I get it, but it's also a little insane. You got people that want to give and give and give. And she got timed out. So, but she'll be back. She'll be back part in helping. And she's still behind the scenes doing a ton for our industry, RWC, warranties and everything else. So Tiffany, you've always been a great supporter and I love what you do and who you are as a person. So keep at it, man. We'll see each other soon. I know it. The world's getting ready to open up. I feel it. Pedro says it's 10:30 down there. All right, cool. All right, Mr. Pedro, I love it. I love it. Okay. So there we had Monday's show, which was an amazing show. And of course, we always have our building modular where Jennifer and I are talking about what's happening and where we're going on that. Tuesday, this upcoming week is our final. Well, it's not our final show, but it's going to be a best of show. And then we're going to make some announcements there on some things that we're doing moving forward, which I think is going to be super exciting. So really looking forward to that as well. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Wednesday, Kirk Hodgson. We were back on the mass timber kick this past Wednesday. You know, Kirk Hodgson, have you ever even heard of a architectural technologist? How many people have heard of an architectural tech? I haven't heard of that until I met Kirk. Architectural technologist, young guy, built a climbing wall in his house for him and his kids because of COVID. But what Kirk is doing is amazing. I mean, we talked about mass timber, modular construction. We talked about education and training and change required. How do we do it? Where do we go with it? We talked about the building acoustics with mass timber. There are so many benefits to mass timber, healthy benefits, good, bad, and indifferent. Mass timber is the way to go on a lot of these things. But I think one of the biggest things that we took away from what Kirk is doing is the mass timber roadmap. The mass timber roadmap. Wednesday, go check out his channel, see what he is doing. I think it's absolutely amazing. He is building a complete roadmap on how do you find the people and the places, and it's a global roadmap. It's not just a little tiny roadmap. It's a global roadmap, and it's a resource. And it not only is a resource for where you find people, it's also a resource for the types of mass timber. What are the types? Glue lamb, so forth, right? Plywood lamb. There's so many. And I think even who was it? George Ryman brought up, I guess there's now hemp lumber. I don't know. That sounds dangerous. That sounds like people might be smoking your walls. Who knows? Who knows? I love it. I love it. So Kirk Hodgson on Wednesday was an amazing guest. So we want to thank Kirk for tuning in. Great young man doing great things. And man, he really, when he got warmed up, he was ready to go. Great presentation. So Kirk, thank you for being on the show. And then, of course, on BS Friday, we had Arnie Didier on, and we did the Mass Timber Conference preview. And guess what? We have a free all-access ticket to give away. That's right. We're going to do a little promo this week, so stay tuned for that. It's a $900 value, full access to everything, to include the Google project that they're doing, live virtual walkthroughs, and others, virtual live walkthrough at the Katera CLT plant. which we also did on the show already, so you can check that out if you don't have access to the Mass Timber Conference. So we are going to give away, and more details to come. If you're interested in that, let us know. Put it in the comments. We're going to start building this. We'll see what we can do to help some of our guests out if you're interested in going. But we are giving away. It's a $900 value. Just to attend the conference is 800 and some dollars, and it's well worth it. This conference has some of the most advanced virtual technology that you can have in a conference, and it is going to I think it's going to change the way a lot of people look at conferences. They put a lot of time and effort into this, and they have some huge speakers part of this conference. Huge speakers. So down below, you can find the in the ticker for the conference. Let me get some coffee. Cheers. With this 6 days a week coming slowing down after next week, I'm still going to do, I think, my Saturdays with Dave. I actually, all the other shows take so much effort, and this one takes a lot of effort too, building out all the banners and all that. But I don't know, the casual approach of listening to myself talk for a change isn't so bad all the time. Kind of get a kick out of it. So, all right. So the Mass Timber Conference show dates, Tuesday, March 30th. Definitely want to check it out. It was a great show. Mark Willie's on the road right now. He's doing some traveling, so he was kind of in and out, a little fuzzy, but that's it. When we do these live shows, everybody, we have the internet to rely on. We got the social media platforms to rely on. We got this third party platform that we use to rely on. So they don't always want to jive and talk to each other. So it is something that we do. Pedro wants the ticket. Let me go to some comments here real quick. Let me see before I get down to that, Pedro. Give me 1 second. We got at Hubert Romberg from Cree. Would be great. Hey, Hubert Romberg. Do I know? I think I know. I'm going to have to take a look at that, Damien. Definitely we'll take a look and see Hubert Romberg from Cree would be great. I'm sure we can get somebody. A lot of people, when they have an opportunity to come on the show, they take advantage. So, yeah, I said that already, Pedro. Damian Stapleton. Yep, Damian would like the ticket too. So that's pretty cool, right? It's a big value for people. Not everybody not everybody can afford $900 to go to these conferences, especially if you're a small business or you work for yourself, or you don't have a budget, where you do work. It's a big deal. So we are going to start putting it out there. Look for some stuff probably tomorrow or Monday morning. I'll start marketing it out there. We're just going to do it for a couple of days, and we're gonna give away some free access, help promote the event. We'll see what we can do. All right, here Pedro H says, Dave, what do you think about having guests in other parts of the world, like Japan, for example, one of the countries that uses industrialized construction the most? All right, so Pedro, this is a great question. So we've traveled. We haven't done Japan yet. We have some things coming up. Nagasui and some others are doing some pretty big projects that we've been in conversation with, and we're going to have them on the show. We've been to Sweden and Germany and other parts of the world. Absolutely. It is a global conversation. We're going to continue traveling around the world and defining, what other people are doing, because that's the only way we can learn. So I think it's a great suggestion. You're going to see more of it, but you're right. Lately, this past month's really just been a lot of Canada and a lot of the United States. But like I said, Pedro, if you have some people that are doing amazing things in Brazil, and listen, not every country is where Europe is or Japan is or where America is or where Brazil is. We need to look at how people are doing it everywhere, because there's something to learn everywhere. And if we can take all those bits and pieces and pull them together to come up with the ultimate solution, the ultimate Tesla of construction, that's what we want to do. So I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Damien said, you should check out Tyler Wood regarding hemp. Okay, so this thing is real. So I've not heard of this before. But I think it's brilliant. I guess what they're doing is I don't even know how hemp's made. How do you take hemp and I guess you pulp it just like you would pulp any other wood and turn it into a product? I think that's super cool. I think it's really super cool. Pedro wants the ticket. I love it. And he's waiting in Brazil for us. All right, man. Hey, listen, as soon as we can open up and travel, we've been invited all over the world to come to factories and to come see people. So Pedro, I would love to go to Brazil. I have never made it further south than Panama. Never made it further south than Panama, but I would definitely love to come down to your country. There's so much great culture there. I could imagine how much fun, right? Rio de Janeiro, you know, all those places. But yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in. Just when the airlines open up, shoot me a ticket in the mail and we're on our way. Get us some factories down there. We'll come visit them. Love it. Love it. All right. So what do we have, everybody coming up? Well, I still got this Arnie Didier up here. Coming up next week. Next week. Next week. Wait until Wednesday. Wednesday. I'll get to Wednesday in a second. But like I said, Monday, any recommendations? Yeah, we had Trudy Solly on. We had Trudy Solly on. But she had to reschedule. So fair enough. So any recommendations? Thanks for the recommendations you guys are giving us. But Trudy had something that personal that came up that needs to be handled, and we get that. So we're rescheduling with Trudy. She'll be back on. So I'll look at some of the guests and some of the people that you've already suggested out there, and we'll try and get them on the show. But we will spend our weekend sending out emails and phone calls, seeing if we can pull somebody in, because we do not want to end our, you know what, last week's kind of like our final week for the year. We can't end on that kind of note, can we? My goodness, no, we won't. We'll have somebody, and we'll reach out to some of the folks that you recommended as well, and go from there. So, any recommendations? Anybody else that's tuning in and watching this for this Monday would be a big help. And what is that? 27, 28, 20? That's what, the 29th, Monday the 29th, or three. I got that wrong? Yeah, I got that wrong. It's not. Let me change that. Monday is the 29th. I did it wrong. So there you go. Monday the 29th. Any recommendations for a guest? You see me just make that change on the fly like that? Um, what else? What else? Yeah, I don't want to end Monday that way. We'll get somebody on. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, fun, fun. We're not ending Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows, Saturday coffee with Dave, all moving forward. We got some changes coming up Tuesday and Thursdays. And we got a new show we're working on, a brand new show. And guess what? Guess what the new show is going to do? Can't hear you. Now the new show is it's going to bring in the consumer. We're changing it up and bringing the conversation a little bit further along, and we're going to get the consumer involved in our conversations now. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be looking at housing, but doing it in a way to where not only the B2B, but the B2C is going to be interested in how this conversation goes, so we can get the consumer involved in what we're doing and moving this conversation along. I'm going to move. That sun's starting to get me in the eyes pretty good. I'm squinting. All right. Cool. Sorry about that. All right. What else do we have here? Dun, dun, dun. Tuesday, obviously, building modular with Jennifer. Everybody loves when Jennifer's on the show. I mean, listen, as people always say, you know, I'm very lucky, and Jennifer has really changed how we do our conversations. She's definitely a very thoughtful person when it comes to conversation, and comes up with questions and conversations that you know, quite honestly, my brain doesn't even go to. And I think that's it's such an amazing testament to her and what she brings to our show each and every day. Even though she's not on these shows every day of the week, she is on the show. She's behind it. She's working hard. She's interviewing. She's commenting and keeping the conversation going. And she always takes it to the next level. So gotta love it, and big shout out, because you'll be seeing more Jennifer moving forward as well. Absolutely. Okay. So Wednesday. This is what I love about Wednesday. Richard Murdoch, CEO, founder of AutoVol, right here on Dave Cooper Live. You have not seen much of Richard Murdoch anywhere else, but you're going to see him here. We're going to talk about AutoVol. We're going to talk about the things that are happening at AutoVol, straight from one of the founders and the CEO of AutoVol. You definitely want to tune in this Wednesday. Wednesday is to me a big show. We have been talking with AutoVol, and you know, and we had Merrick on not too long ago. This is going to be a great show. If you do not know Richard Murdoch, uh, completely not what I thought, man. So cool, dude. I mean, down to earth, heart of gold, forward thinking, pushing the envelope on what we can do with automation in one of the most automated manufacturing facilities in the country. And huge too. So put it on your calendar, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to have Richard Murdoch on the show, CEO and founder of AutoVol. How awesome is that? Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Pedro, don't miss it. You guys need to be there. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Keep it on. Keep it on. Keep it on. What's Jennifer putting up here? Damian Stapleton, thank you. Please please help us keep the conversation going. We invite you to share our channel. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, let's put it up, Jennifer. I know it looks like me, but Jennifer must be in my LinkedIn there. I love it. Team collaboration. That's what it takes to keep this conversation going. Dude, I am so happy that my mic is sounding good. I'm using a lav mic today. I don't know if everybody can see it. You know, I got this little wireless thing, and I'm using my camera from my phone. I tell this to everybody. You don't need high-end technology. I'm using my phone with a camera, and I have a wireless mic set up on it. You know, and I have my other computer sitting here as well. That's why I can give you that cool side view, right? Always trying to figure out what the best way to do this, because I always like to look into the camera. But when I look into the camera, I'm not looking at the screen, and these are the things we deal with. But the reality of it is we need everybody to share their stories, share their conversations, grow what's happening, and do it through our channel if you want. You know, if you got great things going, you do a video and you want to put it out there and it's something you're doing that's amazing for our industry. You know, I don't want the same thing that you did a great job doing a jack stud or a window frame. But if you're doing something that's changing the world or changing a piece of it, that's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to have on the show and keep going forward. So definitely use that. Man, there's so many of you coming to us from the social media side today. I love it. You know, it's funny. I'm just looking at this, you know, Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. I love that we're getting more and more on some of these consumer platforms. I mean, LinkedIn is obviously what we do, but super cool. Super cool. All right. So Richard Murdoch, this Wednesday, AutoVol in the house. I love it. All right. What else we got here? Pedro says, Dave, you can say which software do YouTube use to streaming? Dave, can you say which software? I can. Well, so I use a third-party software called StreamYard. And I go live to LinkedIn, YouTube. LinkedIn's our main platform, Pedro. What I should say is where we started. YouTube is becoming our main platform. Our YouTube channel is being consumed almost, I think we're 1 hour shy of 24 hours a day. Somebody is watching our YouTube channel 24 hours a day. I don't know. It's like the amount, it's like 28,000 minutes or something like that right now. And it's just growing. Nobody out there, you know, is doing, you know, the live conversation in the format for our industry that I think we're doing. I mean, there's some people sharing stories and doing some amazing live shows. But to answer your question, Pedro, I don't know why I was going down that track, but we're using a third party so we can get to multiple platforms at the same time. And, you know, then there's some other technology that we're using behind to do these wireless streams. You know, wireless is tough. You give you an idea, you go get your wireless cards from your cell provider and they want to give you 35 gigs. I use about 100 gigs. I don't know if you know what that is out there. 100 gigs almost every 2 weeks just doing these shows and doing what we do. So we have almost, I think we have six wireless providers so we can continue to deliver these shows to everybody out there. When you do 6 days a week and, you know, and other things as well. And then also you need the internet when you're traveling, but you don't need that. You can just do right from your phone. You can store all your videos right on YouTube, Pedro. So if you wanted to go live to get started, you don't need all this other stuff. Just do it. You can go live straight to YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want. Just start somewhere. And then you can take it and share your video once you went live on the other platforms. That's what I tell everybody. It's like working out and eating healthy. You don't need to wait for your protein shake to come in the mail. You don't need to wait for your membership at the gym to start. Get down and just do some push-ups. The same thing. Just start. Just start. Don't wait for anything. All of you out there. I know it sounds like I'm lecturing. I'm moving on. I'm sorry. Pedro, you get me worked up, man. I'm leaving that Richard Murdoch up there. I'm a big believer in trying to get as many of you out there to share this information, whether it's what we're doing or you want to do it yourself. This is how we grow the industry. And it's amazing. We've had so many people that we've helped on this and helped them get started, and they're doing great things. All right. Let me keep going here. Let's see. I'm whistling. Jennifer Crocus Cooper, absolutely will do. You are the backbone of the whole production. Man, see, told you. I told you. More Jennifer. That's what I'm hearing. We're gonna be doing this consumer show together and some other shows, and I think a coffee with Jennifer's in order, where people can pick Jennifer's brain. I think that would be fun. I can't pick it. I've been trying for 14 years. Maybe you guys can help me pick her brain. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, and then, of course, she's putting up the audible. All right, everybody, listen. So that's what we have coming up until Wednesday. And then big show on April. Is that April 1st this Friday? I think it is. It is. Big show, April 1st. We are doing a cross-pollinator event on April 1st, a building science extravaganza. Now, these are two shows, so we're going to have back-to-back shows. We're going to do this building science extravaganza with Passive House in Accelerator, Passive House Canada, Mason Passive House, a cross-pollinator event. It is going to be on April 1st. We're going to be having some fun with this event. We're going to start promoting it and putting it out this week on how you join and how you get involved. We're going to have a bunch of other influencers from the industry coming together, and I use influencers lightly, but just people that are doing similar things that we're doing. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to be putting some things out there that may make your eyes roll into the back of your head. We're going to be putting some things out there that make you think a little bit. But it is April 1st. It is April 1st. All right. So there you have it, everybody. That's what we have coming up for the week. That is what we have coming up for the week. And like I said, a $900 value to attend the Mass Timber Conference. We will be giving away a ticket, all access, to go to this conference, which starts on the 30th through the 1st. We will be giving away an all access. We want to drive people to this conference. It's a great conference. We're just going to see how we put it out there and how we pick the winner. We just found out about it Friday that we can get this ticket, so we have it. And now we're going to figure out how we put it out there and promote it. And Pedro and others, you guys are all in the running. So I think it is absolutely amazing. We will do our best to make sure we're very fair with how we put this out there and how we give this ticket to. It's going to be a great event. Looking forward to seeing people there. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for myself, please let me know, or we're going to be signing off here in just a moment. Just a moment. But first, remember, you need to join us this Wednesday and Friday, because we do have the big show with Richard Murdoch, Autoball in the house. And guess what? We're going to be going to Autoball and doing a plant tour. We don't have that in writing yet, but I know we will be. We've had the conversation. We've had the comments. So definitely looking forward to that. All right, listen. So if one last time, I'm going to put it out there. We had a reschedule for Monday, so Trudy Solly rescheduled. So keep putting your recommendations for a guest for this Monday, 3/29. We're going to be working over the weekend to look at it. Put it in the comments. Send me a private LinkedIn message, and we will see what we can do to get them on the show if it makes sense for our show. So I know Damien and some others have made some recommendations already, so we'll take a look into that. I'm sure Jennifer's already on it. but we will see who is uh, who is a potential for being on there. Hey, look, Greg Ugalde throwing his name in the house. Do you want me to help film Monday? We have a lumber update at that time. However, I can get a guest. Greg, I think it's a great idea. So let's I'll send you a message afterwards. Let's take a look. We had Damien, some others on the show, put some names in there. Maybe we could do something fun. Maybe we can make it a 2 or 3 guest type thing. And Greg, you can co-host the whole thing and have a little bit of fun with it and bring one of your own guests from NAHB or other. What do you think of that? That might be cool. We can do a round robin, Greg. Every 15 minutes, during the 45-minute hour show, we just bring in another one. Can't think of a better host other than Jennifer Greg. So my apologies. I hope you're not offended. I love it. I love it. Great idea. Great idea. All right, everybody, listen. That is the end of our show today. We are going to end this broadcast right now. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a fabulous cup of coffee or whatever you drink, water, soda. Some people drink soda in the morning. And I hope your weather is as nice as it is where we're at right here. Oh, wait until you see it. Have the studio built out in the motorhome. Like literally built a studio in the motorhome with lights and I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. If I can just get my internet to work right, I'm in heaven. All right, everybody, listen, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for tuning in with Coffee at Dave. Do not miss us this week. Wednesday's our big show, and Friday is going to be a lot of fun with our cross industry collaboration, or as Mark calls it, pollinator. See, we put some bees in there. So fun week. It is our 1-year anniversary week. We're going to have fun with it, and we also will celebrate the 1-year anniversary coming up as well. So everybody that's out there, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Have a wonderful day. Greg, you and I will have a conversation after the show. Bye now.